So today, Team of the Year starts, which means there is loads and loads of content and insane players to be packed. But before we do get underway in today's video, if you guys are interested, I do offer a daily trading subscriber service / Discord. All you got to do is subscribe over on Twitch, which costs £5, €5, or free with Amazon Prime. In there you get yourself daily updated trading info and the ability to go and message me off stream with any questions. That'll all be available until the 1st of February, in which some of it will stay as a sub perk and then some of it will split off to a Patreon perk. But let's go and talk actually about some of the investments that I've done really well recently in the trading guide. So we've got ourselves Allison, who we recommended at 145, and now we're selling him for 190 ahead of Casillas. We've got Pickford, who we recommended at 42k. Well, he's up to 70k in just a few days. We also have some meta sort of pacey players called at way ahead of the curve, and we can see that we recommended the likes of McManam at 77k, and he's up to 92k. We've also had a really nice rise in Openda, who we recommended here at 98k, and he's up to 115. Not only that, we've also got some low budget flips we made yesterday that did really well. For example, we've got ourselves English Prem Cams, who we bought at 550, and they ended up going up there to 2.1k, and I think you would have been able to sell them at 1.5k, even within about 15-20 minutes. And then on top of that, we've got a few of the others did okay, but we've also got La Liga Cams, who we recommended down at 400 coins, and they ended up there at 2k. So some insanely good high budget and some insanely good low budget. But let's go and talk about all the content that we're getting today. So yeah, we got a lot of content coming out today. The main of it is being that we're going to get ourselves Team of the Year attackers, and we're getting ourselves Team of the Year icons. So yeah, not Team of the Year honourable mentions, they don't come till next Friday, but this Friday again we got Vinicius Jr, or today sorry, we've got Vinny, we've got Mbappe, Salah, James Smith, Hansen, and then we've got this whole Team of the Year icon team, which was also leaked yesterday that they're only getting 2 playstyle pluses, but I wouldn't be complaining if you went and dropped a Pele, Henry, a Sabio, or half the other players into my account. But yeah, really nice. It's also leaked that Bale and Casillas are SBCs, but I think we'll be talking about that a little bit more in today's video. Here's just proof that we go and get ourselves Team of the Year icons today. There we go, that is the equivalent of us getting them last Friday. Last year, whereas Salah and Team of the Year honourable mentions weren't dropped to the following Friday. Now, on top of stuff that's impacts, we've got an insane amount of content coming, and they're kind of matching a lot of the content from last year. Like, this is all the content they dropped on the Friday last year. We've got Bruno, we've got big upgrade packs, we've got exchanges, we've got repeatable upgrade packs, and we also got the likes of George Best. So let's go and break down what we're getting this year and how it's comparable to last year. So the first thing we got was the Bruno Fernandes SBC last year, whereas this year we're most likely than not going to go and get ourselves a KDB. Bear in mind he was one of the first that was leaked, and it kind of fits the same thing. Bruno got one because he had a Team of the Year in previous years. Well, this is actually the first year De Bruyne hasn't had a Team of the Year. So what market impacts happened because of De Bruyne's SBC? Last year we didn't actually see too bad of a drop on the market for cams for Bruno because it was leaked days in advance. Likewise, we've already seen a lot of drops on the centre mids because of the Vieira Thunderstruck, and we've already seen it obviously with the likes of De Bruyne. So don't actually expect him crashing the likes of centre mids and cams unless he comes out like 500k, but he's favoured to be closer to 1 million. His link investments are favoured to kind of rise into the hype, but then drop a few days after and then proceed to rise. And Fodder is favoured to drop going after 6 PM on Friday, but then actually then continue to rise through the week. We covered a lot of analysis on the KDB flashback yesterday, so we won't go into too much detail today. Again, you can check it out. We also went and got ourselves loads of upgrade SBCs. We went and got ourselves an 85 plus player pick with a chance, well, with 1 of 3. We also went and got ourselves a 5x 84 plus, which needed 1 Team of the Week and an 82 rated. We also went and saw ourselves get the 10x 83 plus, which obviously we got earlier in the week. So we went and got ourselves a bunch of upgrade SBCs last year. So what are we going to be doing as a result? Well, we're going to be buying Team of the Weeks this evening. Now, Team of the Weeks obviously had a weird rise this week where they kind of spiked after the first day and then kind of dropped due to overinvestment. But they dropped back down there to about 13,750. They actually dropped last night under 13, and under 13 yesterday actually were doing a really good buy. But I wasn't around for that too much yesterday. But I do think they can go and drop under 13 again today with the initial packs opened at 6 PM. So I'm going to go and like these cards as an investment, and then they can honestly just keep rising for about 2 weeks. So that's the first investment we're making reacting to content. We also went and got exchanges, the equivalent of this Friday last year. The only problem is there's no leaks of exchanges, they're not in the pack code, so at the moment it seems really unlikely we're going to get them. Which kind of sucks because they're kind of something that keeps the continuous grind through Team of the Year, but you know, what can you do about it if they're not going to drop it? Now, what are we doing regarding Fodder? Oh, we'll talk about Fodder, I guess, in a sec. Also, we went and got ourselves the George Best. We got both George Best and Bruno Fernandes, both on the Friday last year. So this year, I'm expecting for us to go and get the De Bruyne. And another player that was leaked, or the first one that was leaked, is Casillas. So I'd imagine a Casillas SBC no more than a few 100k, and a De Bruyne SBC about 1 million. Well, as a result, what happened to Fodder? Again, Fodder kind of went down on the Friday, and then it proceeded to rise through the week. We can see this, here we go, here's the Thursday, here's Team of the Year, and then it proceeded to rise through the week. Now, an interesting observation I wanted to look into was, well, you know, high-rated Fodder is great, but what about high-rated Fodder that's out of packs for Team of the Years? Well, let me go and compare both Ter Stegen, an 89 who didn't go out of packs for Team of the Year, and Alisson, a gold card who did go out of packs. Well, Ter Stegen went down there to 33 on the Friday, and then peaked up there at the 47k on the 1st of February. Whereas Alisson went down to 34k on the Friday, and then peaked up there at about 48k on the Monday there. So actually, there wasn't any difference between buying a super high rated who went out of packs for Team of the Year compared to buying someone who didn't go out of packs. Unless you're starting to look at maybe some of the cheaper cards. Because we look at someone like Bellingham, and Bellingham, an 86 rated, was 9k with the Friday, so today. So even though he's getting out packs for Team of the Year, he still dropped on the Friday. And he went from 9k up there to 19k. Whereas we go and compare Milinkovic-Savic, I mean, it's kind of the same sort of thing. He was 8k, and he went up there to about 17k. So not quite as profitable to go with the likes of Milinkovic-Savic. But there actually still wasn't too much in it. So to play it safe, I would want to be going with the players who are getting Team of the Years, especially if there isn't really a significant difference. Now, I showed you a lot of upgrade SBCs, so I'm sure you guys are interested in what about 83s, what about 84s, you know, your low risk sort of things. Well, it's quite interesting because Team of the Year started here, and despite me showing you there was about 4 upgrade SBCs, he actually continued dropping basically throughout the whole of Team of the Year. And again, by now, the high-rated fodder had done really well, but he was very cheap. So we don't really recommend buying low-rated fodder. It's either going to be high-rated fodder or gold cards who are getting a Team of the Week. Sorry, gold cards who are getting a Team of the Year. Now, talking about upgrade SBCs, there were a bunch of new upgrade SBCs added. It's no surprise, these come every Team of the Year. Now, we don't actually expect to get these until the following Friday. But these are the upgrades we have. Again, the Prem and WSL, the La Liga and La Liga F, the Serie A and whatever, and NWSL. It's quite interesting though, because the split is very, very heavily skewed towards 2 leagues, and that's the La Liga and the Premier League, and then obviously the female equivalent. Whereas there not being much incentive to open the others. Now, obviously, we're probably going to go and get ourselves a bunch of honourable mentions from the Liga and the NWSL. But yeah, pretty interesting there. And again, we don't expect to get them till next Friday. Someone did ask me, should I go and buy loads of gold rares for them to go up? Well, this is actually how they did last year. So again, the upgrade SBC probably would have came out here, and you see they just didn't rise of 700. So no incentive to pre-stack your gold rares because they just didn't rise last year. And I don't think they've risen for, last few years now. Talking about content that I don't expect to get on Friday, but this is going to be content through the week, is a Gareth Bale SBC. It was obviously leaked to be a Team of the Year icon, but they're dropping him as an SBC. Now, Bale does have his probably prominent demand in striker and right wing. So the right wingers who I imagine will be affected, some of the most will be stuff like this Rafinha right here. Obviously the base Bale right there. We're kind of looking at the cards who are probably, I'd say up to 1.5 million I can imagine him affecting. Obviously Jairzinho has already had his SBC. But the one thing I will say is, and we looked at this last year when they dropped the best, is we didn't really see a massive crash when they dropped best last year. But the players all rebounded to higher prices they were prior. So, for example, if someone was 1.5 million, went down to 1.3 million when best came out, they had 2.5 million by the end of Team of the Year. So them dropping 200k is irrelevant. So I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't worry too much about your strikers and right wings. Although what I would say, if you do want to buy strikers and right wings, you might want to wait till Bale comes out. The only worry is if Bale comes out so far down Team of the Year and the market's already rebounded a bunch already, then you're going to get caught out a little bit. But I'd hold off and just wait till we have more news about when Bale's going to come out. I don't anticipate Bale coming out today with De Bruyne. If he does, it'd be pretty crazy. But yeah, we don't anticipate him coming out. Other than that, we are going to go and get our second centre-back part of the Evo. We knew there was the second centre-back part because we knew we had one part 2 days ago, one on the 17th, one on the 19th, I think one on the 23rd and one on the 25th, if I'm not wrong. So, yeah, the first one was obviously pace, and now you're going to put the exact card. Presumably you can't put any centre-backs other than the Team of the Year sort of evolution card into these, and it's going to go and give them a big old dribbling boost. It's going to go give them technical and a +1 skill move. Obviously, not the most desirable sort of upgrade to a centre-back dribbling. I mean, obviously, I think it can be quite underrated in terms of it's always good to have agility in the back, otherwise it's going to be a bit of a nightmare turning, and you can get, I guess, trapped down by strikers. But they obviously did get given the CDM utility, so for whatever reason you do end up moving your centre-back into CDM, that dribbling boost is going to be quite nice. Unrelated to Team of the Year, but there is an ultimate birthday icon card that's been added into the code, although we do think we are very far off that. Some more SBCs that are leaked to come out are Marquinhos and Kimmich. Now, I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to go too deep into these because I just don't think they're going to be very demanded. PSG this year is just such a meh nation. Like, it's very rare nowadays to see PSG players being expensive if they're not French. We had Vitinha recently, but I mean, apart from that, they're just very, very underwhelming sort of prices they hold. So I'm not worried about Marquinhos really crashing centre-backs. Maybe we could look at some link investments, but I'm not that interested. Likewise with Kimmich, obviously we've had CDMs and centre-mid SBCs and Evos out the wazoo, so I can't imagine he'll be too demanded. Again, these aren't officially leaked cards, so they're probably overstated anyway. And then at right back, I can't imagine he'll be too demanded. So yeah, 2 SBCs that I'm not really that fussed in terms of link investments or worrying about them dropping the market, because I just don't think that Bayern Munich nor PSG squads are very mainstream this year. It's all in the La Liga, all in the Prem really. Other stuff that got leaked, like I said earlier, Icons only having 2 playstyle pluses. It's nothing too crazy. The full women's and the full men's team were leaked, and again we'll talk a little bit about the investment. Like I said earlier, quite like defenders and midfielders who are getting Team of the Years as investments. We covered in yesterday's video showing how Theo Hernandez dropped on the Friday and then rose from like 7 to 15 through the rest of the week. So the investments that I like from midfielders, I like the likes of Bellingham, I like Palmer, Rodri should be okay, and then Grimaldo, Saliba, Van Dijk, Carvajal, Martinez. They're all good because they're either cheap meta or they're fodder. Saliba, if he drops, will be amazing because he's very popular for the Evo, yet he'll be out of packs. The only problem is I think he's still probably sitting at max price, even with us having div rivals yesterday. So yeah, we're going to need a bit of supply on him at 6 PM. Likewise with the woman, we can go and buy the meta cards there. I would hold off Berger because I think she's too low rated. Even Bronze is slightly low rated, but I'd say Bronze, Paredes, Renard, Kachawi I'd happily buy. Then Written, Putellas, Bon Matip. Putella's being very nice. She's got dual utility with obviously a slight bit of weakenly demand and still being a meta card. And again, we're going to look at picking these up this evening around about 7 PM to 10 PM. Is there anything else that's leaked? I mean, this is the EQ assist I would anticipate probably getting today along with the Kevin De Bruyne. But yeah, I think apart from that, that's probably that. We'll just talk briefly about how we think the market's going to react. I imagine there'll be a bit of panic selling going into 6 PM today on cheap metas. Then I think it could probably rebound till Saturday. Then I think it'll drop Saturday to Tuesday. And then if we follow last year's trend, the market rises from Tuesday onwards for about 2 weeks. Yeah, and then obviously players who get replaced by Casillas. I wouldn't want to buy goalkeepers anytime soon because the Lloris drop on goalkeepers was days after days. And then I think it was out for 30 days. So yeah, we anticipate a bit of a drop going into 6 PM, then a rise till Saturday morning, and then we can expect a bit of a drop over the weekend. And that's it. I mean, regarding those investments, we're going to buy them probably about 7 to 10 PM. It's normally the cheapest, and then those out-of-pack metas and Fodder can literally rise for 2 weeks. So a nice long hold with decent profits in there. But that's going to go and wrap that up. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow with a brand new video.